Well, if everything's going right, actually I should go.
Incoming email.
Well, it looks like we're live now, so everybody,
Okay.
welcome to Let's Talk Racing. Somebody throwing you an email, huh?
Oh yeah, sure.
Cool. Throw it. Got a nice little round out for tonight. Of course, we're going to run into the news to start up. Then we're going to have Tom DiBlasi, who's the tire specialist on Joe Gibbs Racing, joining us at 7:15. Scott Zippadelli. Scott Zippadelli. Delily. That ought to be good. I'll have to tell him about that one. Crew chief for the number 16 truck. They wanted Daytona. They were all happy about that. And then at 7:45, we're going to have Angela Ruch. She is one of the newer Truck Series drivers.
Okay.
Female.
Good.
That's why her name's Angela. Hopefully.
Well, that's hopeful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine that's true.
So she's got some other things I think going too. So we'll find out some more
Yeah.
when that kicks in. Oh.
I'm trying to think. I got full of blank. Young lady that won a race on the K&N West Series. Got pole on the dirt track, and then she won the asphalt track next week.
Holgren? Holgren? Whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Callie. Anyway. Duh. Sorry. So I was trying to give you a plug there, lady. But anyway, their first race of the season is going to be the dirt track that she had the pole on last year.
Oh,
So she's excited
cool.
about that. You might imagine.
You think?
Cool with that. Yeah. So that.
Well,
Daytona. Well, let's talk about Atlanta. Let's talk about the pole position. Danica who? Anyway.
what? What's the Danica Who stuff? Why are you coming up with that mess?
I know. I'm sorry, gotta do it.
Let's see, that's the trucks. You're already jumping over to the cup already. Huh?
I know. Well, you know. The way I am.
All over the place. Hate to see you drive. Yeah, who was it? Eric's? Yeah, that's why you said that. Number 10 was on the pole.
Yeah.
Oh, 10 was my number 2.
Okay,
so,
good. Yeah.
Roger who?
Roger who? That's right.
There's a few people that would know that joke, by the way.
Yeah. It's those.
A couple of friends of mine down from Vegas, in fact.
Ford's ran pretty well, and who was it? Was it Hamlin? Somebody in the Toyota camp said that the reason the Hendricks cars not working so good early in the year is because they wait to figure out what they can cheat at or something along those lines.
Oh, jeez.
And that hit the fan, and then the next day he says, "I was just kidding." But
of course, we're only
he said
kidding.
He was kidding.
We would never tell anybody, right?
No, but it's somewhat hilarious in my thought that somebody's giving a thought on what they actually believe, and of course it's kind of like a mixed master on that. But
so Brad won the race.
yes, he did.
Truex second, so he did good.
Whining to all the way home. Somebody called him Brad Kleenex Jr., but anyway. Oh my God, you see that post-race interview? Go ahead. Read your list.
Kurt Busch got third, Harvick fourth.
Yeah.
Clint Boyer.
Yeah.
I'm wearing 14 pants.
Yeah.
It's because it has Tony's name on it.
We're all 14, but anyway.
Yeah. And then Kyle Busch in 6th, Eric Jones in 7th. Your buddy Danica in 8th.
No.
Eric, yes.
Danica's...
Chris Buescher, he did good. He got 9th.
Yes.
And Mr. Suarez.
Yes.
In a 4. 10th.
Yes, he is.
Denny Hamlin got 11. In the 11th.
Yeah.
Points wind up. Denny Hamlin still leading the points.
Leading the points, really.
Harvick in 2nd, Busch in 3rd, Larson in 4th, Joey, Brad, Eric, Kurt, and Clint Knight, and Stenhouse Jr. in 10th.
Well, that's right. They got those stage points and stuff like that thrown in there. So just because you win don't mean you're going to lead the points, which is really kind of wacky.
Brad and Denny are already into the first finals.
Yeah. And Harvick... Brad won 5th, 6th in points, and he won a race.
6th in points, won a race.
And Denny won the other race. Now we only have a bunch of laps, so interesting. Makes the points
Yeah, that's
more
like
opaque than ever.
in the Cup race. Truex had 49 points. Kurt
Right.
Busch had 45.
Right.
Harvick had 52.
Cool.
The winner only had 40.
Didn't do much except to lead the last lap. That's all you need to do. Well, you know, more than that. But,
Get you the win and the money.
people go like, oh, you know that Martin Truex is going to catch him. He need one more lap, and Truex said he need one more lap, and I'm going, yeah, keep thinking that.
Kyle Larson finished 12th and got more points than Brad did. 44. Jeez.
That's what's so crazy about the point thing. But you know, I just needed one more lap. Yeah, right. He just backed off and let you catch him until the last lap and speed back up again. It's not the first time it's been done. It's been done for years, guys. Before they even had radios in the cars.
Sandbagging.
You know. Well, you know, if you've got a three-second lead, why not use it? In fact, somebody said on a broadcast said that. I don't think DW said it. He ain't got enough brains to figure that out. But anyway, you got 3 seconds. Why not use it? So you let him catch him. You know, take easy on the tires. You're right there leading. No need to burn tires off.
Yeah, they were saying, "Oh, he's going to catch him, and all of a sudden, brrr,
well,
that gap started to open back up again.
The old expression about you catching them one thing, passing them something else. You know, and the leader can let you do. Pretty much let you do whatever he wants you to do. If he slow down, you're going to catch him.
Give you that false feeling of security.
Yeah, you're catching him. You know, collecting half a second a lap. You know, and then the last lap goes by, you're still a half second behind him. So, but Truex was whining about I think Stenhouse. He wasn't happy with Stenhouse, but you know, these guys have got to race for position. You know.
Some of these announcers have got to straighten stuff out. Do you know that Ricky Stenhouse was a rookie?
Where?
One of the news broadcasters on Sunday, said something about Ricky Stenhouse, and Ricky Stenhouse. And I said there, rookie, what?
When?
Really?
Were you looking at an old YouTube from 3 or 4 years ago or something?
He led a lap, but I mean, why would they? I don't know. There must have been somebody that
not when he's sticking ball guys.
Didn't know their stuff. Period.
Just for anybody who's used to watch or go online for the old J-Ski site, I hadn't looked at it and watched it, kept saying watch it. Looked at it for a while. ESPN basically took it over a couple of years ago, or if not longer, and ESPN is typical of what they've been doing the last couple of years, has been releasing all the people who have been associated with them for a long period of time. And they combined J-Ski in with their ESPN site, but they actually changed the format so it looked like the ESPN stuff. So you really couldn't.
ESPN's owned J-Ski for 4 years now, I think.
Several years. That's been a while. But of course, it still had the format like it always had for years before they did it. And then a year or so ago, they changed it so it kind of blends in with everything else they did. But of course, then you kind of can't find it. And I hadn't looked at it for a while anyway, when ESPN got involved anyway. And so ESPN built their network on stock car racing, folks. Check your history if you don't old enough to remember that. I certainly am. And it wasn't that long ago. I'm talking like it's 1960. It wasn't.
1930?
No, but they were 24-hour news sports programming, and what could they get? Well, everybody else was tied up. These guys were sticking ball guys, but we can get this stock car thing, and they got it probably fairly cheap to start off with. And the fans were crazy rabid. People will, they just need I want my MTV promotion for MTV. It was the same thing for ESPN. People were beating up their local internet providers or cable providers and said, we want ESPN, because ESPN was not that well spread yet when they did that. So now they've got baseball and football and hockey and basketball and all the rest of the ball sports. They racing what? So, but Jay, his name is Jay. He got, if you read his background back years ago when he had that on there, he said that he got the nickname J-Ski from, he was in the Air Force, I believe it was, at Dover Air Base, and he had a sergeant, they called him J-Ski because his last name was apparently a Polish last name, I forget what it was, and his first name was Jay, so they called him, just kind of smashed it together and made J-Ski out of it, so that was I think his nickname. He said he and I assume his wife or whoever was working with him maybe doing something again in April. My point of my ramble here, so that J.C. I'm assuming that he, won't have a problem using the name. Be back in April sometime.
Yeah.
And I forget the name of the other site that somebody's mentioning. It's a pretty good site somebody started up. Fellow's got his name on, I forget, but that was became a tremendous asset. He was a guy that liked to follow the independent guys. Al always teases me about mentioning Elmo Langley, but Elmo Langley and J.D. McDuffie, guys like that, actually before J.C. started doing that. But those kind of guys that, the guys that are in the back half of the field that a lot of folks like to keep an eye on and are fans of. And, how is this guy doing, that guy doing? And so hard for him to find information on everybody that wasn't in the top 10 or so. So he started posting it online. That's how the whole thing got started. So became a real good source of information and connected to a lot of people. So it'd be interesting to see that, get that back again. I think for a lot of fans will be interested in that. So ESPN is ignoring us race fans as usual. They got Formula One, and what do they do for Formula One? They do the English broadcast from the UK.
Mm-hmm.
All of it. They just play it. Well, they don't have any of their own people. They just play it, which is probably good because it's probably better than what they could do anyway. So it's just like hooking up. If I was channel 3 and I hooked up channel 13 and plugged it in and plugged it on channel 13 on my channel 3,
They got to do what they got to do.
So
By the way, Timothy Peters, apparently
Yes.
this may be a full ride because he ran Atlanta too. He finished 10th.
Good.
So
Good.
that puts Timothy.
That's good. Some of our
8th in points.
friends of the
Nice.
show who've run well here at Langley. Unfortunately, if you haven't heard the Denny Hamlin Shootout or Short Track Showdown, to use the proper name, it was delayed a year when, actually a couple of years when Langley was not open for a year, and then they took another year. Ran last year. It was colder than blazes. It was in same weekend that the first Richmond race is. The foundation said they're not going to run it this year, and they expressed
They're not going to run anywhere this year.
concern. No, they're not going to run it at all. Expenses. They said it cost them $1 million to rent the cars that Hamlin and Kyle Busch were driving, and other stuff. So I don't know what all involved in all
I
that.
think part of it is just trying to get the logistics so that everybody can get out there to be able to race it.
Well, it's hard because it's not like the old days. It was not like even a few years ago. These guys, the big names, the big names. If you're not involved with it or follow these guys or know some of the people that work with them, that they have a huge list of stuff to do that has nothing to do with the race car. I mean, it does because it's involved with the sponsors. People that complain about the guy that doesn't work on the car anymore, he hasn't got time, folks. He's out doing sponsorship stuff for this, that, and the other sponsor. Promoting this and promoting that. All the different sponsors he's with. She's with, for that matter, because there are ladies out there racing. And so try to pop up and say, well, we want you to run at Langley this weekend, right before you run at Richmond. And going, well, I've got these appearances in Richmond for this, appear at the Walmart for Cheez-Its or something like that, free plug for Cheez-Its, or whatever. We used to have big cardboard cutouts of Carl Edwards at the Walmart next to the Cheez-It display, and all that kind of stuff. So the drivers have become the face of the sponsors, the face of the teams, more than ever. Never found out who it was, but the story was a few years ago that owner wanted to fire a driver, and the sponsor said, "You can't. We've got too much money tied up in this guy." And I talked about the cutouts and stuff like that. That they had displays and advertising and stuff going for the rest of the year. And all of a sudden, you're not going to have him driving your car. That stuff was already paid for and printed up and shipped out, done weeks in advance, months in advance. So.
There, that looks a little better.
Big difference from what it used to be. So.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, it was a great thing. It brought a lot of attention to local, regional drivers. Talking about Timothy Peters and guys like that in regional, that are some of our top guys regionally, and would get some national exposure because it's got Denny's name on it, so it would pick up a lot more exposure than might normally be expected.
You know, the only bad part about doing this is I should be using the other phone, because this one I can call the people and say, hey, you know, you're supposed to be calling in.
Well, you're the computer guy.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. I can cheat now then.
Yeah, well, you've got, you know, we got more computers in this room than you know what to do with. I'm telling you right now. But I don't know what to do with.
But anywho. So, while we're waiting for him to call in, let's see here. Who did I say was first on?
I don't know. I think I started babbling and I lost all
I know,
of them.
you get rolling on there.
I know. Well, hey, you know.
Mario Andretti's birthday's today. JT Jackson, his birthday's today. Terry's throwing that out there.
Really?
What's happening, JT?
Mario, absolutely.
Hey.
Thomas DiBlasi is a tire guy.
Right.
Where?
A Jew Gibbs Racing.
Okay.
So.
Tell us about these tires. That would be a good question.
All right. Hang on a second. I'm just going to direct call him here.
All right. Yeah, you know what?
Wrong numbers.
You got this fancy computer. I'm looking at the TV we got in front of us here, folks.
There we go.
You know, I got to get up under my near portion of my multifocal eyeglasses, my progressive.
Come
Can't
on.
see that.
Looks like
Doesn't work.
Those if I'm signed in.
Well, one help. Once
geez.
in a while. Once in a while. If anybody cares, I posted on my homepage the our buddy Albert Pearce interviewed me for the story about the 40th anniversary of Daytona 500 from 1979, and I actually got a couple paragraphs in there. There's a small part of the entire article, and it was about a week and a half or so ago, and I pasted it on my page. Kind of fun. Lily Tomlin here. One ringy dingy.
Two ringy dings.
Is this the party to whom I'm speaking?
You have reached the voicemail box of 7.
Yes, we have.
I have to shoot these people, I tell
The
you.
name of Lily Tomlin's character, anyway.
See, I got one of my cousins out there watching.
Very good.
A Racer's Life.
All
Cool.
right.
Which racer, though?
Very good, yeah.
Oh, goodness. That's that. I was posting the stuff and spreading it around. I reckon I could continue. It's so hard when you're on this side and you're not on the back side doing all the magic.
Yeah, doing all this. You know, he's used to being the man behind. Dubbed him the man behind the curtain. You know, it just kind of jumped out of my brain. But I have seen the Wizard of Oz a couple of times, so I guess it was natural. Don't pay any attention to the man behind the curtain. Pulling all the levers. Oh, that's that fun.
Trish
stuff.
Kane, Roy Martin. Haven't seen him on here in a while watching.
Yeah.
Got Terry O'Connell. She's out there
Yeah.
waiting to get all them books sold. Get
Telling
that
you.
get that competition rolling too.
Yeah.
Oh,
You got a race coming up?
I don't. She said something about she may be going up to Iowa
Okay.
and Knoxville.
Knoxville, yeah.
Do some sprint car racing up there.
Yeah.
That's a possibility.
I
Depends
know
on-
there are people all that way are getting chomping at the bit of getting racing, but something popped up on my Facebook news feed the other day, and it's showing just last week is snowfall up in the Richmond area. It was like over a foot deep, so I'm glad I'm here up in actually Northern Virginia or DC. But having said that, I still posted saying this is the reason I don't live farther away from the coast than I do. We got nothing here. DC got like 3 foot of snow. So. And Iowa's been hammered too, so they're all, I'm sure they're all
I forgot
ready.
to have the book ready.
Yes, you need to do that. Absolutely.
Check out them pants. There, they can see it now.
Wow, God almighty. Sorry if we
Tony
damage
Stewart
your,
pants. Yeah.
damage your screen. You need to get a little book stand here for the
There you go.
publication here.
Oh goodness.
I sit down at the house, I got the book right next to me in my chair and fall asleep. Nothing about the book, it's just me.
But
So I've got partway through it. I haven't got all the way through it.
let's
I
try.
apologize for that.
Let's see,
So
read down with a sucker.
I don't know. Is there on there?
Read down.
There you go.
I had to look at this one because I can't see it. It's
Well, that one, yeah. I can get my doctor and crank up my prescription next year. It's a new one. He's Alexis using.
We got Mary over here on the live one shoot.
All right, cool.
Should have her join in.
Yeah.
You have reached the voicemail box.
Yes, you have. Mary gets out there with her camera all the time.
Yeah, she's been taking some good
I'm
pictures.
telling you.
On some of the local news.
I am, one of the local channels put up one of her photos on their website. Great work. I am too thin-blooded to be out there during the cold weather taking pictures at sunrise. I'm sorry. So I'll let you do the good work. So, besides, if I want to get my camera, I got to find somebody that's got film and I can develop, because those are my cameras. That's how old I am. I got a lot of money tied up in those film cameras, but anyway.
Oh,
digital cameras are just a plot to sell batteries. You take about 4 pictures and I got to change batteries again. So.
all right. I must have started a trend over here. Rick was talking about having to get some 54 Enduro pants.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Bound to find somebody to print up. As a matter of fact, somebody's got a printing outfit.
Yeah, I wonder who.
Yeah.
I've
Something
made some,
on the wall here about.
I don't know where all this stuff came from.
Yeah, you know, signs and T-shirts and stuff.
Well, if we're not hearing from Tom, let's go ahead and kick a couple of
Up a deli.
No, we're not going to hit zip
All right.
until 7:30.
Go
So,
from one end to the
but I mean, hey, we can.
alphabet to the other there.
Atlanta, we had the Xfinity race. Christopher Bell, Cole Custer, Allgaier, Brandon Jones, Tyler Reddick, Jeffrey Earnhardt,
Two-side printing.
Ryan Priest, Justin Haley, Noah Gragson. That's
I'm a simple child. Two-side printing impresses me.
Mike Lynette. He got second, 12th place rather. And he's the 8th in points. Christopher Bell's got first. Brandon Jones second. Justin Allgaier third. Riddick, Custer, Cindric, Earnhardt, Annette, and then Ross Chastain. That's a quick rundown on those guys.
Where
Truckers.
Where is Jimmy? 24th.
Jimmy Johnson,
Running.
way back there. What can you say?
Yeah, somebody. I wish I remembered the post because I was mentioning it.
So Mary switches from here to there now.
Well, got talent. What can I tell you? You know. Started in 11th and finished 24th.
Yeah.
Mr. JJ here.
My buddy
Last
Grant.
led, 0.
My buddy Grant Infinger, he's leading the points.
Yes. Thor Sports is doing well. They're about the only Fords out there. There's got 4 of them. I'm trying to figure out what the 4th one was. There's only about 6 or 7 running.
Austin Hill has got second. Ben Rhodes third. Sauter's fourth. Harrison Burton.
Well,
Next
Sauter was a
after
little
Martin.
surprised. You know, Sauter got let go of the team he was with.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, Thor Sport comes up saying, "Oh, we're going to run another truck." Really?
Who is Sheldon Creed?
That is a question I can't answer.
He's 10th in points.
Well, doing well, found fella, whoever you
He finished 12th at Atlanta.
All right.
Huh.
Another name to keep in mind, to keep checking list on, right? See what's going on.
Jennifer Jo Cobb actually finished 22nd.
Okay.
Running in the lead lap. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jennifer. I don't mean to make it sound bad, but it's nice to see that.
How nice that she's still running at the end and didn't leave
Really?
off. Nice. Now somebody loaned her a top line truck for a couple of races. Let her get up there and run a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't realize they were going to race after Xfinity, or I'd have been checking it out
Yep.
instead of checking my lids. Crashed out. But the poor Instagram Live, we still got to work on that.
Instagram Live. Yeah. I was going to say, what are you doing?
Hey, this is the first time we're trying to do it on the show, so what the heck. But
all this electronic media here, sports.
since nobody's there, we're going to go ahead and kick it to the curb.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Something to think of next time here.
That way,
On the internet.
that way I can get out of here and fuss at somebody. Somebody left me a message.
I think that Bugs Bunny's girlfriend on
I was chatting with Ryan Vargas.
there. Okay.
We've had him on here before.
Yeah.
I gotta check see if I still got his number. But texting back and forth, chatting with him online. He's going to be wants to get calling in, so that'll be cool. All right, let's go back. Hit the messages. Tell you what, since we're running close out of time, Ona Speedway in West Virginia.
Yes.
They're going to be running legend cars every week now.
Cool.
Also, compact series, the Midwest compact series are going to be running the track. Our buddy also is now also the sole owner of the McCormick CRS Super Truck Series.
Cool.
So they're going to be running out there 3 times.
3 times. I was going to say at least
this
twice.
season out there at Ona. So
Okay.
hey, Boss Man owns it. Bring it out there.
Sure.
Let's get a kick.
It's a track that does have some history.
Yeah.
We mentioned before, going back to the days back prior to 1972, which NASCAR calls the modern era of Premier Series.
Back in
And places like Langley had 1 or sometimes 2 of the Grand Nationals. They're going to do a series a year. Ona had to race once, several times, once
Yeah.
a year, and stuff like that. So. Nice to see that track coming back, some of the historic tracks. So many tracks closing. I'm going to scroll down on my Facebook page here because I share some stuff. A couple of tracks in Pennsylvania. Let me get to this.
No fun if they're all closing.
Yeah, 2 tracks in Pennsylvania are reopening. Hidden Valley Speedway and Latrobe Speedway. And one of them, this one picture here is obviously a dirt track. I think both of them may be dirt tracks. But Hidden Valley returned to its former name. It used to be known as America's Motorsports Park. Latrobe Speedway opened again in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, obviously, and we stopped by that brewery that's in Latrobe and picked up a beer or 2 while there, I imagine. So
He told me I can't say anything about the secret stuff he's got going on.
Okay, well, darn, not need to tell you.
But he said to get with him on Monday.
Don't tell anybody the secret stuff.
Is that like the secret sauce or
Yeah, something like that.
KFC or?
So for you folks, if anybody's from Pennsylvania is watching us or in Pennsylvania watching us, there's the 2 tracks that are coming back. Look like both dirt tracks. And that's good news. This reading I posted it, although it's a long way from my hometown.
Yeah, Shane, it sort of did suck that not going to have that short track showdown.
Yeah, that was a shame. Like I said, it was a great short track showdown, a great venue for a lot of reasons. Brought some national publicity to Langley Speedway. Regional and local racers get a chance to get their name in there, and we've had some drivers from Langley in the past when that race was run in South Boston, South Side, whatever, that beat all the big boys and won the race.
Yeah.
Like C.E. Falk did at least once. So we shall have to move on. If that's not running, I want to worry about trying to get a day off during the week to go to the races. Because Wednesday last year, Thursday, something like
Your
that.
call has been forwarded.
Yep, no one else. Okay.
I tell you.
We're back 1,000 nights, folks. We are rolling here with
You know what?
telephonic stuff.
I'm starting to not do this, setting it way up ahead of time, because they have a tendency to forget. I think they've hit the wall once too many times. This is getting to be bad.
Send them a text. Send them a group text about 6:30.
I just do better when I do them on a Monday or a Tuesday for a Wednesday. This Wednesday I'd set them up last week.
Oh wow,
Because I'd already talked to Scott Zippadelli, about when they won the Daytona race there in the
That
trucks.
was Wednesday night you did that, did you not? Or something like that. Or was it Thursday?
I would have to look it up. on the
Okay,
phone.
anyway.
But anyway.
I know you were calling to people Wednesday night.
Ooh,
After shows over.
Shane was going to drive in from Nebraska to come see it.
Wow. Well, Shane, we love the dedication. From Virginia, moved to Nebraska in 2017. Well, sorry about that.
Yeah, really. I was going to say sorry about your luck. But
hopefully it's a well-paid job that took you out that way, or if not the military.
in the officer and gentleman, wasn't there a thing about Nebraska? The only thing from Nebraska was the steers and clears thing.
There's not. I've been.
Or was that
Kansas.
Oklahoma?
I drove through Kansas coming back from Colorado, the rural Colorado side of Denver, and folks, God bless you if you live in Kansas, because there ain't nothing there. The trees were imported. You would know there was a farmhouse, because people plant trees around their farmhouses, because there's not any trees otherwise.
Yeah.
And so you drive along, there's 3 or 4 trees, and you can say, there's got to be a farmhouse in that little group of trees there. But
I hope
speed
so,
limit was
Tina.
like 70 miles an hour, and I was doing like 80, and my gas gauge was going like this. Woof.
Yeah, and Tina, Angela and her PR person both said she was supposed to be calling in at 7:45.
Right.
I'm hoping she didn't drink too many of the drinks I saw her with.
All right now.
She was getting into these specialty drinks, talking about this tall with celery and everything else in it. Oh my God! So
Take up room for the beverage and that kind of traction.
oh man,
Use it to mix it up and throw it away.
Really?
Kind of stuff. Broccoli, for God's sake.
And the sad part is these guys will be calling me later and say, "Oh man, I'm so sorry, I forgot." I said, "I'm gonna just say you owe me big."
7 o'clock in California, or wherever they're at.
Yeah, they're in Vegas.
Oh yeah. Tell them we're in Bermuda. Get them an hour ahead of time.
Hey, all right, there's Scott. I see him watching. Scott, you can call, or you want me to recall you?
Yeah.
I'll just call him. What the heck?
Yeah, all right. It's 8:30 in Bermuda right now, if you care.
Yeah.
How about 5 o'clock someplace? Speaking of which, I got some Bermuda rum at home. The famous Zippadelli brothers are on the line here, if we're lucky.
Either that or I'll just let him recall in.
Yeah.
Your call.
Well, we're still batting 1,000. I'm telling you right now, for baseball players, we would own the team. Because they couldn't give you enough money to keep you playing if you were batting 1,000, which is perfect score, by the way. So, it's so funny, that baseball players, they bat 300, which is only 30% correct. They'll give you like half the team. Weathermen can be able to correct like 8% of the time, and they think you're a hero. And musicians, you miss one note in a whole piece, and everybody asks you about you missed a note, and you played a whole 20-minute song, So it's just funny.
Mark Wirtz's birthday is also today.
Yes, I saw that. We're not going to mention how old you are, Mark. I'm not.
And hello, Kristen. We do see you out there.
Yeah. All right. Well, appreciate you signing in and making comments. All that fun stuff.
You can follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter.
Yeah.
Go for all that stuff.
Facebook Live.
Facebook, all that good stuff.
I'm on,
Share that.
I'm on Twitter and Instagram
And
and all that
YouTube.
jazz in case we don't want to
YouTube.com/football.
harass me.
Get all our old stuff.
Oh, well, you can do a YouTube for all the old stuff for the
Well, I
program.
put last week's on there already.
All right, good.
So I'm trying to get caught
Getting
up.
caught up here. We're, you know, it's
not the
like
easiest thing to
last
do.
year, like the second time I was ever on the show, which is like 2017 or something like that.
Oh, I've been doing this thing since 2000.
No, I'm talking me. I'm going, oh my
you.
God, that long?
Jeez.
I know.
See some of the old people we've had back there. The I remember. Oh crap! What's his name?
Oh, what's his name? Herbert Noel.
No. Morgan Shepherd. That's right.
Morgan.
Talking about him in roller skating.
Oh gosh, yes. That was the day. Back when the pre-race shows were simpler, Morgan Shepherd would be out rolling playing with his roller skates on pit road up and down there.
Oh, they caught him one time on video dumping his butt too. All right, I'm gonna try again. See if Scott's handy.
There's a picture out there of Linda Vaughn and Fireball Roberts dancing on pit road during practice or something. It was kind of fun. It was about 1962.
Like that commercial.
Shazam.
No, the little kid dressed up as Darth Vader starts the
Oh,
car.
yeah.
remotely.
The car comes out. Starts up.
Your call has been forwarded.
Tina said to ask Angela if she ever raced on a super speedway. Well, hopefully we'll get her on here because right now we're still batting 1,000 sports fans.
She ran Daytona, didn't she?
I wish I could make a comment on that. That would make any sense, but I can't. I'm afraid of that.
Yeah, I think she. Well, let's see. If she didn't run Atlanta, she ran.
She running trucks?
Let's see. Yeah, she runs trucks.
Okay.
She's show you guys.
Oh, was it Hallie Deegan did not have 2 good races in her truck. Daytona.
Yeah, she ran one
Daytona
race.
blew his tire out.
She's 21st in points.
All right.
And
Cool.
so she ran Daytona, so she's been on
Cool.
a super speedway.
All right.
So Tina, there's your quick answer.
Yeah.
I thought she ran the Daytona race. Right now she's out of Vegas.
But they're running this coming week, right? I gotta get my fantasy teams all squared away here. I'm doing pretty good on that. Of course, I don't know what's going to happen after I use up all the 4 guys. 8th at Daytona, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think she's just finally getting back into it.
Yeah.
Come on, what happened to you, Scott? Gonna be out of time.
We're gonna have to.
Once again, Ona Speedway, West Virginia,
That's
only
right.
asphalt track.
That's right. That's right. But the only asphalt track.
Only
you got
asphalt
going?
track in West
You
Virginia.
like your asphalt racing, sports fans, and you're out that way. Check out the Revive track. Like I said, trying to support, if you can, if you're out somewhere. And we did look on the map, Ono Speedway. For those of us in this area, we know we're our beloved Interstate 64. We start heading west, and it's not that far away from it, from the racetrack itself when you get into West Virginia. So easy to find as far as we're concerned. Just get on 64 and keep going west. So, well, obviously got to pay attention when you get to West Virginia, or you'll wind up in Ohio or someplace, or I don't know. Wherever 64 goes after West Virginia.
I'm gonna tell his mom.
You tell his mom.
Yes.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I'm gonna send a text to
Bringing out
Diane and say your son was bad boy today.
Bringing out the heavy equipment here. Bringing out the mom deal.
Tina, it's usually a lot better than this. I was just telling Duane, I took in. This show was one of the few times I took and get it all set up with everybody contacted at least a week in advance. Normally I wait till Monday to Tuesday to get everybody set up because then we've known what's happened over the weekend. But since we had some friends that were Daytona winners, and we're just getting back into racing again. So we were trying to get them on tonight and had them scheduled. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do something nasty to zip
Some
I see.
stern emails out there or something, or text messages or something.
No.
Yeah, he was on.
I'll think of something good for Zippy.
He was on the phone Wednesday night after we got done here. We did our little pit stop at our local establishment. No iced tea and coffee, folks.
I mean, those 2 beers doesn't count that you had? I thought that was part of the graduation ceremony for your physical therapy.
No, that was today. I got an attaboy sticker for my physical therapist. I think she was just teasing me because I'm sure if she really wanted to get lunch, she said you couldn't be doing better. But actually, it's time moving on.
So
getting better.
Let's hear some stuff out there. Who's some of y'all's favorite drivers? Tina, who's your favorite?
Yeah.
Katie, I see you're watching. Who's your favorite? Shane, who's yours? And don't say Mark Works.
Yeah. Tell us.
Oh, now who's calling?
No ID message. Okay, let's get
All right.
one ringy dingy. Go for it.
Let's talk racing.
It's Ruch. How are you?
Doing good. Is this Angela?
It is.
Awesome. Go ahead and introduce yourself and give everybody a quick bio about yourself, how you got into racing and all that good stuff.
Okay, so my name's Angela Ruch. I started racing when I was 8 years old. My twin sister and I started off in go-kart racing and went up to late models, and then I made my debut first in the truck series and in the Xfinity, and now I'm back in the trucks again. So pretty exciting time for me.
Awesome, awesome. I was worried that I was seeing some of your Instagram pictures. I said, I hope she doesn't drink too many of them tall drinks.
You know, it's so funny. I actually just woke from a nap. I had my alarm set.
We had, who was it? Do you remember who it was? We had one of the drivers. They had been partying a little too much, and they were calling on the show, and oh man, they were just everybody was laughing their butts off in the background and just down in drinks, and it turned into be a hilarious 2-hour show.
I missed that one. That was before my time, I think.
I totally believe it. I mean, it's easy to do here when you're in Vegas, right? The party never stops here.
I thought they were supposed to.
Literally right on the airplane when you're coming in, so it's to the best of us, I suppose.
So, all right, now you're back into trucks. Somebody's already asked some questions for you. They wanted to know if you had a chance to ever been on a super speedway before this Daytona race that you were just in.
You know, actually, that was my first time on a super speedway.
Okay.
I had tested in an ARCA car way back when, probably like 8 years ago. No, actually, probably more like 10 years ago in an ARCA car. I didn't run a race, but I tested, and cars were a lot different then than they are now. And I really don't remember it, to be honest with you. So, so I look at it kind of as my first run on super speedway was in Daytona for me.
Cool. Now, you said you raced trucks, you raced some Xfinity. Who'd you drive for in the Xfinity Series?
In the Xfinity Series, I drove for BJ McLeod last year, about 6 races.
Oh, okay. I know BJ. I'll have to get a chance to come up and meet you one time.
Yeah, I would love the opportunity.
We always love getting with people. Now, what was it? I was trying to keep up with some of the stuff you're doing on Instagram. I tell you what, it's with Instagram kicking in nowadays. It's drives me crazy because I try to keep with people on Facebook and texting and Instagram and.
I love Instagram. I live on it. It drives my husband insane. I really sort of proud of my phone. I just think it's a cool way to like see what people are doing, kind of getting to know of everything, you know.
Awesome. Now, when let's see, was there some charity stuff y'all were doing, or what was that?
Yeah, so my nephew started a foundation. Are you familiar with it, or possibly?
Rerun that again, because your phone dropped out just as you said something, and then all we heard was foundation.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah.
It's a little static on my end. I said, yeah, it's my nephew started a foundation called Give a Child a Voice. And has been battling brain cancer for the last couple of years. And he started this charity just trying to help kids all around the world, whether they're battling a disease, a sickness. I'm sorry, I'm totally drawing a blank right now. Whether it's battling any cancer or battling in life. So he's a really strong individual and is just trying to be, kind of make a voice for himself. Kind of, let it be heard by everybody, and that nobody's alone out there.
Now, is this something you started up?
No, I did not. He started it.
Oh, okay. How long have you been helping them out?
Oh, wow. So we've been helping him ever since he got diagnosed. So we're about 2.5 years in now, I would say.
Okay.
And he's doing really, really well, and, he's, it's pretty amazing what he's doing. He's in gyms all around the world right now, and it's pretty exciting for him what he's done, and I'm just proud to be a part of it.
Cool. Now, let's see. Now, which team are you racing for now in the truck series?
I'm running for the 8 truck for Joe Tech.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
That's how do you like working with those guys?
Oh, it's incredible. It's actually a dream come true for me, I would say. I've learned so much from that team, from Joe, from his son John Hunter. Just an all-around great group of guys. They work really hard at the shop with me. And, they give me notes on simulator tests, and it's a dream come true to be running with that team. I've never had that much help and support ever in my career. And then, turn around and do what we did in Daytona, I would say it was definitely, it was huge for me.
Okay. Are you on a cell phone or something? Because every once in a while it kicks and drops out.
Yeah, I am on a cell phone.
Okay. We'll just have to live with it.
Yeah.
It's like racing, sometimes your spotter will hear you, sometimes it don't.
Said the spotter.
Exactly.
Sitting next to me here.
Yeah, I tell you what, I also spot for a couple of drivers, so I have the hard time getting them to listen too, so.
I'll tell you what, that's a tough job to do. I actually sat up there on the spotter's box with my spotter in Daytona for the Xfinity, and I'll tell you what, I give you props to the guys that do that. That is stressful and chaotic.
I always tell them, I said, when I tell you to do something, I don't want you to think about it. I don't want you to second guess it. I don't want you to wait a half a second before you do it. Because if you wait just that too long, you're going to be turning around and looking at everybody coming at you.
That's the problem. Like, I was so busy watching all the other cars, and I forgot that we were just on that one,
Yeah, that's the hard thing too, is to keep an eye on what's going on ahead. The nice thing for me is I used to race in late models, so I'm totally familiar with what the cars are going to do and know what happens when you do something to somebody, what the results are going to be. So the best scenario is if it's a big pileup in front of you, I'm going to get you the spot with the least amount of damage, and that's what you hope and pray for.
That's so true. So true.
Makes you wonder about the days when all that didn't happen and NASCAR. I don't know who it was did a spotter, and fairly recently. I mean, it was I think it was somebody had a radio back on when they're still running on the beach back years and years ago. But NASCAR didn't have a rule against it. They said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Well, we're doing it for safety." Now, if you say safety, you get NASCAR's attention. I complain about NASCAR a lot, but they've been when they think something's a safety issue, they'll look at it and they'll make a change. And they said, okay, let's do that. And it's just like dry soap oil pan on the engine. They said, well, if that's a safety feature, which that's how the team that started it sold it, they said everybody's got to have it. So
Exactly.
you
Now, here's a good one for you. When I was first spotting, they had cell phones, okay? But the radios to put in the race cars were so expensive that because of my electronic knowledge, I created my own little spotter setup using cell phones.
Ingenuity, racers will do that stuff. They'll come with all kinds of business.
Hey, it worked too.
Absolutely.
Oh, I believe it.
It's a little expensive for the phone time, but
Yeah, well, the airtime might get a little rough.
it was
yeah.
back when it was like 25, 30 cents a minute type thing, you know?
Oof.
Get that
Boy.
race over in 10 to 20 minutes, please.
Tell you what, please don't have a lot of caution flags.
So, what's been your best track you like racing at?
Well, I would say my favorite tracks are, I love Charlotte, being in the hometown. I love Charlotte. It's probably one of my favorites.
What do you find? Go ahead.
You know, I think the fast track, you know, the corners are really, you know, they're tough to get around, but I also find it the most rewarding. And again, I just, you know, the fans there, you're in your hometown, we're under lights, like the night race there, and I ran it there last year, but it's probably one of my most favorites.
Okay, now we've got your good track. What do you find the hardest track to run around at?
Maybe the hardest. I'd probably say like Chicagoland. I've always struggled there a little bit. Actually, I did struggle. I ended up missing the race in Chicago. This was probably like 5 years ago. And I haven't been back since. So.
Have you had a chance to try to?
Sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I was thinking that, well, I'm not going back there anymore.
That was a terrible place.
Yeah, I'll be able to, you know,
Yeah.
come back at it.
Full-time sponsors will have to.
Yeah,
I've been having good equipment, so I feel pretty confident.
Good deal.
That's good.
Question for you: have you been to Eldora yet?
I have not been to Eldora.
Oh.
No, it is on my list.
That's on the bucket list of races, I bet.
Yes, I think it's on everybody's list who hasn't done it, right?
Yeah, I mean, now let's see. Let's kick into something else. How about when you're out there racing? Who do you find is the hardest person for you to race against?
That's a good question. I mean, the hardest person to race against. I mean, I guess I would have to. Is it fair for me to say myself? It's you know, I'm out there, you know, trying to do what I do, and
Darn, I should have said that first.
right?
Usually I say
You what?
Usually I say when I ask that question, and yourself doesn't count, but you got away with it. You got it squeaked in there. Well, we're gonna throw.
You know what it is I'm just trying to earn the respect of everybody out there, you know.
Well, we won't tell them. We won't tell anybody you say anything bad about them.
I was just say it's like one individual that I like strive to be, or
All right,
you know, I
let's.
think everybody deserves to
All
have a spot in you know, in the circuit that they're in. We all deserve to be there because NASCAR would allow us.
Yeah.
So I kind of look up to everybody there, and I feel like, you know, I feel like everybody has a great shot, right? And I respect everybody in the sport, and I'm just trying to make a name for myself right now at the moment.
Well, good deal. Awesome. All right, we'll let you get to the better side. Who do you find that you enjoy racing with when you're in competition out there? That they give you plenty of room. That type of thing.
Are you asking like an individual or just like a general, like?
We'll let you go individual.
Yeah, like, you know, I go back to like having a run like we did at Daytona. Like that's probably the closest I've ever been in great equipment. If we're talking, you know, like theoretically and all that, it's like, you know, I was running with the best of the best there, and I was like the best moment I've ever had in my life. I'd say is being there and being competitive and knowing that I belonged. I felt like I belonged. So I would probably just say in that moment in time, it was probably just a couple weeks ago in Daytona.
Cool.
Everybody that was ahead of me, like, I
Yeah.
was able to run with cars, I was able to pass cars. It was the best thing I've ever had in my life. I lived laps, like, nobody can take that from me, right?
Right.
You know, I think it was Fox, whatever the thing about Janet Guthrie here recently, and I think it might have been Mark Martin anyway. The male driver got in her car one race because she didn't feel well, or there was a problem of some sort. And the driver said that drivers that he never had a problem with when he was driving his car really ran what they thought was Janet Guthrie hard as they could to prevent getting passed. And they didn't know he was driving the car just because they didn't want a girl to drive it. You don't have that perspective, but do you feel like that they don't really care if it's a girl driving a car or a truck? Or
I do think they care in one respect, and the same respect is you gotta earn their respect to get respect, right?
Right.
If that makes sense. So I feel like if, you know, doing a run like we just had in Daytona, we were respectful, we didn't wreck anybody, we didn't screw up, make any mistakes. I feel like that's what earns respect in the sport.
right?
Not just drivers that are the fans and also, you know, NASCAR, right?
Right.
So I wouldn't say they look at, oh, I'm passing a girl. I don't think it's that, but I do think in the end it is, you know, like, wow, you know, she has her own, you know, I have props to her, you know? That's kind of how I look at it, if that makes sense.
Cool. Good.
Well, drivers are definitely going to tell if it was a squirrel or not. I mean, I tell people that I notice stuff on the interstate going down the road. It's kind of crazy as all get out that you just see body language of a vehicle, but the way the driver's driving the car, even driving down the, like I said, the interstate speeds, that car's quivering around a little bit. You're going like, and then suddenly they change lanes. And said, yeah, I knew they were going to do that. So it's, you know, if I could do that, imagine a driver can go like, I don't want to be around this guy or this girl.
Oh, I'll tell you what, there have been times, my wife, she swears I'm the worst driver, but then again, she'll flip side and say, if I'm driving on the interstate, I would want nobody else but you to be driving.
There you go.
Because she
That's
says,
so true. My husband hates it when I drive, guys. Can't stand it.
I've
My
had,
assistant was following me the other morning, and oh my gosh, you know how fast you're going? And I was going over 105 miles an hour. I was like, oh shoot, like I wasn't even paying attention, like I was just, I know what you're doing, you know? And
Well, I don't know where you're at, but I guarantee that's a reckless driving ticket.
just,
It is, it's a big problem. I mean,
Yeah.
don't tell.
Yeah, no, know nothing about it.
yeah, there's been a couple of times we'll be traveling down the interstate and I'll be watching something happening beside me or behind me, and all of a sudden I'll hit the brakes and shoot over to a lane, and my wife looks at me, and as she was looking at me, she's watching a car go zipping across in front of me and taking out the car in front of me.
Yeah.
So she just
It's
she just sits there and goes, duh.
We have a question from Tina Hamilton on our feed here, people posting stuff. Curious about Sister Amber going to race anymore.
You know, I would say probably not at this time. You know, the funding is so tough in NASCAR, and because I would love for him to be right there beside me just because how we started. You know, it's tough finding sponsorship right now, so I'm kind of at a time in my life where I'm kind of focusing on myself, and, you know, she has a lot of other businesses going on, you know, for her, so my main focus right now is racing, and it's kind of just by myself, so, and she supports me and roots me on, so.
Awesome,
Okay.
that's cool. I mean, it's always fun to have a racing family.
Oh, absolutely. When it's all you've done your whole life, you know, it's kind of what you know, you know?
Yeah. Now, I've got one more tricky question for you. You ready for it?
I'm ready.
Okay. Now, we're going to target, when you've been out racing, what has been your most embarrassing moment that popped up on you?
Wait, say that again?
Your most embarrassing moment while you've been racing. We'll give you an instance when Mark Martin pulled in one lap early when he was leading the race under caution.
Oh, my most embarrassing moment. I feel like I've had a lot of those. Why they're not sticking out to me. My most embarrassing moment.
Been
Do
up,
I have a most embarrassing moment in racing? Oh yes, my husband just reminded me. Well, it's not really. Well, I was doing an interview. My Princess and I were doing a live interview. I forget where we. You're in Chicagoland.
of all places.
Oh, imagine
Go
that.
figure, right, guys? But so Amber and I were doing this interview, and they had asked, you know, do you have a charity? And I kind of looked at each other, and you know, we were like 26, 27, and each other like we held each other kind of dumbfounded, like no, but if we could start a charity, we would start like a charity for toy puppies. And the lady kind of looked at us like, are they giving toy puppies away these days? You know, because Amber and I love little dogs, and
Yeah.
obviously that's what we have. And so we're like, oh, let's start a charity for that. And the lady's like, come on, girl. It's like, it was really embarrassing. And when I got off, my husband was like, he's like, what are you thinking? Like, I didn't know what to say. So the first thing came out of my mouth, that's what I would love to do, right?
And now you know why the PR people have their drivers practice and ask them all these crazy questions in a back room someplace, so you get used to thinking on your feet. Somebody throws you a
Exactly.
screwball question, you know, you kind
Sometimes
of.
I gotta be honest, guys, I'm not the best at it.
Yeah, yeah. I get it. I'm that way too. I
Well,
work with the public all the time, and I get questions. I'm going like, okay.
well, hopefully Taylor gave you a little bit of heads up what we were going to ask for you.
She did. I made sure of it.
Well, and the bad thing is, because we are live, we have some questions that are sort of normal, but then again, we're going to have some things that during the conversation may pop up. What do you do when you hear a question and an answer, and the answer is toy puppies?
Exactly.
What do you do about toy
It
puppies?
happens.
Yeah.
We all say things that we,
But
This is not a scripted bit on our part. Trust me on this. So we're winging it. So
we used to do that, but
you guys are great at it. Props to you guys.
yeah.
the biggest thing, we want everybody to have fun. We want people that we're bringing on here so that other people get to know about you. And who knows? You never know what sponsor is going to be listening, and all of a sudden, boom, you got a new sponsor. And I can guarantee you, we've had it happen. We've actually
Well,
had.
boys, it better be tonight. Like, it better be blowing up my phone.
We had one of our local racers actually was in here one night, and her father got a phone call while she was on the show, and they wound up with a new season sponsor, which is cool. And over the years, I've had people that have jumped on board with some of the Xfinity drivers. $250,000 to throw in for the year, things like that. That's always good.
You never know.
Yeah.
What we say.
But anyway, I really appreciate you spending time with us here tonight.
No, this has been a blast, guys.
Well, I'm glad too you had a chance to get a nap in. I didn't get my nap today. I don't know what's up with this.
It was like literally a 30-minute nap. I don't know if I consider it.
Power nap time. Okay, I see.
There you go.
Yeah, you know how it is. I need those little power naps every now and again.
All right. Well, let me go ahead and let you get out of here and let you get ready for Vegas.
Yeah, big show tonight.
Oh goodness. What do you got on schedule? You're gonna do?
We are going with David Copperfield.
Ooh. Al Pearce would kill me if I didn't tell you. You got to go get.
But In-N-Out Burger.
You know, so funny. I still never could say ever had an In-N-Out burger.
You've never had an In-N-Out burger?
I was in California for my younger daughter's wedding, and definitely worth it.
I always hear they're amazing.
Oh, it is. It's hard to believe, but yes, it is.
Yeah, if you're in Vegas, you better go stop at one, because
about the farthest east you're going to get is Vegas, I think, with In-N-Out Burger. They don't ship their product more than 300 miles from their warehouses and stuff like that. So they're definitely a West Coast thing. I'm trying to think
Well,
of
I'll have to check it out.
taco
I'll
place.
send a picture your way if I get it.
Hey, you can throw it up there on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of
There
the
you go.
taco place we went to too that's out there too. I can't think of the name of it. Not Taco Bell. It was. They're all over everywhere. But
I hope not talk about it.
yeah, we did the California experience while we were out there. We're trying to go to all the places we couldn't get to.
Taco Bell.
Not Taco Bell.
I
It
was
was.
gonna
I can't think of the name of it. There was In-N-Out Burger, Taco Bell, and this other taco place. I said, well, we've been to Taco Bell all the time, so we're going to the other two places because they're California type stuff.
I remember first time I was out in LA and I went to a Mexican restaurant. And I'm used to the Taco Bell scenario, you know, little teeny things. And it was lunchtime and I was hungry and I said, okay, I want a burrito and I want an enchilada. And they came out with these things that were 16 inches long, 3 inches high, and 4 inches wide. And
Where were you?
Lunch and dinner.
it was out in LA. I wish I remember what it was, but it was huge. And I was for the task. I ate half of each and saved the rest for supper.
Well, it's like we had a Pollo Loco out here at one time, which closed down, but that's actually a Mexican chain, and they're out in California and stuff like that. But it's very, very Western type food. It's not the Mexican food we're used to. I suppose the Tex-Mex food we're used to here. It's more greens and fish and stuff like that. So.
I'm glad this is a racing show.
Oh, we talk about a little bit of everything. Racing's got to eat. You got to have fuel.
You're making me hungry.
Yeah, you got to have fuel. You got to have the high test fuel in the vehicle. And you got to have a high test fuel in the driver, okay, and
This is true.
the crew.
There you
So
go.
you got to get something good if you're going to eat it.
That's what, 6 o'clock out there, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
See, it's
Yeah.
supper time for you. We're getting you keyed up,
Yeah,
ready for
No,
it.
it's 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock.
Oh, you got a 3 hour
You're
difference.
5 o'clock somewhere,
Oh, hey, In-N-Out Burger's not far from you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up.
Absolutely.
There
You
are a
need
bunch
to
of
do
them in
that. You need to
Vegas,
do
so you'll be good.
that. Need to do that.
All right, let's
There you
go ahead.
go. That's what I will hit tonight, guys.
There you go. All right, go ahead and go have yourself a fun time tonight, and we're going to be watching for you on the racing this weekend.
Yes, please do. I'll be in the number 8 truck.
Oh,
Okay,
by the way, tell Timothy Peters hi for me.
I will tell him.
He knows me, and well,
He's a great guy.
I'll send you a message about some other stuff too, but that's for another time here.
Yeah, definitely. Sounds good, guys.
All right,
Enjoy the rest of your night. Thanks so much.
go have a fun night. We'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Oh, Dave. Oh, before you go, a quick shout out on your sponsors.
Oh, JJ Resources, Global Growth. Sorry, my husband's staring at me really disturbing. Global Growth. This is really, you don't even want to know, guys. I'm going to have to hang up on that note.
Uh-oh. All
And
right.
then obviously the charity that we have. So,
Good deal.
yeah, TE Foundation. So,
All right.
Sounds good.
Enjoy yourself and have
thank
fun
you, guys.
racing.
Talk to you soon.
All
Have
right.
fun.
Bye-bye.
Good luck.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, it's the last thing you need. Your husband giving you a hard time when you're on the radio doing an interview.
On the radio,
Well, close.
close.
Yeah.
You need another In-N-Out burger. Get you
Yeah,
straight.
Yeah. What I had actually, it was in the refrigerator overnight because I was somewhere else when the family got those. But anyway, I can't think of the other restaurant name. That was a time when Jimmy Johnson made a tweet about the restaurant, the restrooms rather, the non-gender specific restrooms, and I happened to be at the Mexican restaurant I mentioned. I can't think of the name. And my daughter walks out, and I see her turn around and take a picture of the restroom door. I can't see the door from where she's standing. I'm going like, why would she take a picture of that? And I went in there, and there's a sign, you know, I call it non-gender specific. I forget what the terminology they use was. They use a triangle and a circle for the restrooms. I think the triangle is for the ladies and a circle for the men. Anyway, and a triangle and a circle combined together. So if you see a TV ad, there's a TV ad that does some product and they show the guy heading off toward the restroom, you see the circle and say, oh, that was California. That's what they use on the sign. But this had both, and obviously it had been originally a men's room that had been modified. So it's like, okay, because that was, just when just right after the controversy about they'd been in California, the NASCAR teams, and somebody, I think Jimmy Johnson posted going, what is this? And people ripped him up from one side down the other. I would have done the same thing. Nobody knows who I am, so I wouldn't have said anything about it. It's kind of weird going, okay. But anyhow.
I'm trying to see if Thomas is going to call. He just texted me.
Yeah. Dude, it's after 8 o'clock. I realize it's 5 o'clock somewhere, but come on.
He didn't. Let's see.
Plug my phone into my battery. Phone is dying.
Let's see here. Was it his number over here? Yeah.
You have reached the voicemail box.
Well, we're getting that. We're
Oh well.
batting 1,000 on our call outs on this.
I'll tell you.
On that, and getting that recorded. So why not? Such is life. We'll have to do stuff on the fly from now on as far as he did call folks, I think Wednesday night he was calling people, if I remember correctly, about we want you on the show next week. And so
It is.
best laid plans of mice and men gang after glade or something.
Or
like
we
that.
can wait 5 minutes.
Alright. I don't have to go to work till 10 o'clock tomorrow, so I can sleep
Okay.
a little bit later. And double check my schedule. Oh.
Okay, we'll go ahead and do some more talking while we wait for you to call in. Anywho, the reason I'm gonna set her up so that she can give Timothy Peters a hard time. Remember Shannon? She lives out there in Vegas, and she's one of the people that report on the racing and does a lot of pictures and stuff.
Okay.
Anyway, she had taken a ride one time with Timothy Peters in one of the trucks around the track, and Timothy looked over and noticed the hat she was wearing.
Okay.
Let's Talk Racing hat.
Okay, all right.
He goes, "Oh, you know Roger." And she was so befuddled. She was not expecting Timothy to directly talk to her, because there were other people in the vehicle.
Right.
And she goes, who? And the funny part is she's videoing the ride.
Right.
And I happened to catch it on Facebook as she's sitting there.
I didn't get a chance to be famous on Facebook. Oh my
So it was hilarious, and when I saw it, I called her up. I said, "What do you mean, Roger who?" She goes, I didn't expect him to ask me a question. I just totally caught me off guard. I was so dumbfounded. I didn't know what to say. I said, "Well, all right." So whenever she goes out there and she goes and sees Timothy, she goes, "Yeah, Roger who?" And I called up Timothy and told him about it on the Facebook, and oh God, we were just laughing our butts off.
Oh my goodness gracious.
It's cute to have little small stories like that kicking around. And I've told you the one about Clint Boyer. I can't say that one. Well, I could, but let's see who's.
Well,
there's not that many people listening.
keep it clean.
But anywho.
April's watching here, so she wants me to
Yeah,
go
we're
to sleep.
down to
so let's
one. That's what happens when you tell everybody you're going to be done at 8.
go. Yeah. Then I start joining in.
Ah.
Oh my goodness gracious.
It means I can't put it on Instagram either. It's over an hour.
Yeah.
But it'll go on YouTube.
Well, we haven't set our world record or anything like that. I think we'll have to get Mr. Mullis back in here and we'll set a world.
Oh, jeez,
And-
another
and
3.5 hour?
And he'll bring us a lunch when he comes. Pack what brown bag it. I'm telling you, we'll sit here and be eating.
goodness.
Excuse us while we're eating our lunch here, our dinner.
Another 3.5 hour show. I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
I'm definitely going to be on that side.
Yeah, serve snacks. What?
You might want to be at this end so you can go take a pee break. Have Al, make sure Al Pearce. What's happened, Al? I haven't heard from Al.
Al did a post about he's trying to track down an NFL, John Madden, as a matter of fact.
John Madden.
And somebody replied to that. He said he's trying to get a hold of John Madden. I guess one of his charity projects he's doing. I think it was signing signatures of championship-winning coaches. And here we go.
No ID message. What is this?
You need to fix your communication device here.
That was quick.
Well, always a drive-by ring if there was one. Drive-by telephone call. Here we go again.
There it is.
And phone number coming up. Anyway.
Let's Talk Racing.
Hey, how's it going? This is Tommy.
Hey, how was supper?
It's good. Delicious.
Where'd you eat?
131 Main in Cornelius, North Carolina.
Ah, awesome. So, how you liking the weather between having been in Colorado and now down in North Carolina?
Oh, it's beautiful down here. It rains every single day.
Oh,
We haven't seen the sunshine since we left Denver.
oh, geez. Go ahead and do a quick introduction about yourself and a short bio so some of the people that haven't heard from you know about you. Learn something.
I've been with Furniture Row on the 78 car the last 4.5 years, and when they shut down, I made the move to Gibbs a few months ago with Cole Martin, and just moved back to North Carolina.
Awesome. Now, were you the one that had a football player on the Denver Broncos?
I did. I did. He retired about 3 years ago, so he doesn't play anymore.
Oh, okay. So he wasn't heartbroken that you were leaving him.
Yeah, well, actually, he was still living in Denver. His wife and him and his wife started a photography studio out in Denver, so they were still out there.
Awesome. So how is working with the Joe Gibbs Racing? Is that
It's good. It's good. We like it a lot. It's a little different working in a big organization compared to the way Furniture Row was and being on a 4-car team. But other than that, it's not bad at all. We're kind of fitting right in, I feel like.
awesome? Now, let's see. You're still doing the same job you were doing with Furniture Row?
Yep, still doing tires.
Tell us about tires last. Go ahead.
What's that?
I was going to say, tell us about the tires last week.
Actually wasn't that bad. With the downforce change, the new package rule, the downforce is more, and the cars weren't really flipping and sliding around as much as they normally do, so we didn't really see the wear like you normally do at Atlanta.
Okay.
So it was a pretty clean race from the tire standpoint. A couple ports here and there, but nothing like you normally see.
I'd like to get some straight scoop if we can, because the guys on the TV reporting, you're not sure what they're talking about sometimes. I don't think some of them even know what they're talking about sometimes, but that's another story.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how close did you guys think y'all had the race last weekend?
Oh, we were close. This new package, it's very air dependent. So the car in front of you punches a big hole. So even if you're like 5-10 car lengths back, it's the air off the car ahead of you still will upset your car 10 car lengths back, and it's just hard to pass. You can catch up to somebody, but once you get to them, it's hard to do anything with it, even if you have a much better race car than them. So with the 17 in between us and the 2, it made it difficult for 15 laps to get up there. But once we got around the 17, it was game on.
Now, were you guys having any trouble with the right front, like some of them were having before during the race?
No, we didn't have any troubles. It's the typical Atlanta. You saw some blading and stuff on it, but that's typical for Atlanta and Darlington. But as far as like the cording and stuff like that, we didn't really have anything at all.
The team that seemed to have the problem, or a couple I saw, were actually wearing out the inside edge of the right front tire. That looks like to me suspension issue or setup issue.
Yeah, a lot of that has to do with camber. If you run a little bit too much right front camber, what it is, or negative camber in the right front, the car will run more on the inside board of the right front tire. And if you're just a little too over cambered, that it's just running too much. So the guys who had more camber were the ones who were affected by the right front issues.
Yeah, that's the thing that you not expect to see the outside edge, and they're burning off the inside. So I'm going, okay, they've got the suspension all jacked up on those things.
Well, the right front. So the left front you have positive camber where it runs on the outside edge of the left front.
Right.
And then the right front is opposite. It's the negative camber where you'll see the top end and the bottom out. So most guys will wear out the inside edge of the right front, the outside edge of the left front, if they have too much one way or another.
Now, I want to pretend I'm a blonde, and I want to know what in the world is you talking about when you say camber? Because I know there's a lot of people that ask me about it, and I try to explain it to them. I said, one of these nights I'm going to have one of my tire guys on here, and I want them to try to sit down and explain that to them.
So if you look at the tire from the naked eye, it looks like the tire is straight up and down,
Right?
and it just looks like it's straight up and down at 12 o'clock. Positive camber, which you normally have in the left front, the top of the tire is pointing towards 10 o'clock, and the bottom of the tire is pointing towards 4 o'clock. And it's kind of tilted out, like you'll see the top of the tire tilted outside the fender. Where the right front is at the same angle, but since it's on the other side of the car, it's tilted still at 10 and 2, or 10 and 4, but the inside, the top of the tire is facing inside the car.
The right front, you got negative, and the inside of the tire is closer to the center of the car, right?
Positive. So, yeah, so it's pointed, the camber is pointed at the same angle, but
Right,
the top of the tire is outside the fender on the left front,
right,
and the outside of the tire on the right front is inside the fender.
right.
I don't really know how to explain it without my hands. I'm doing it in the car right now with my hands pointing the way they point.
Yeah.
I hope you understand.
Wait.
I hope you're not doing the driving.
Yeah, I thought-
My wife is holding the steering wheel so I can do it.
Didn't know you were Italian. I guess you are. Zipadelli, a little Italian.
The DiBlasi.
Huh? But, so negative camber, the top of the tire is closer to the center of the car. How about that?
Yeah, and if you ever look at a road course car,
Right?
and if you ever look at the front tires on a road course car, both sides have negative camber. So if you look at a road course car and it looks like both front tires are angled inward,
Right.
that's negative camber. But the only difference is on an oval, the left front will be tilted out.
Right.
Right.
Well, the whole concept of that is when you're going left all the time, theoretically the tire is straight up and down into turn,
Yeah.
and you're even wear across the tread. So when they're not getting even wear, that's when they're getting an issue.
Yeah, even when you load up in the corners.
Right.
So, if you have a lot of camber, but when the car dips into the corner and then loads up and really sinks down is when the tire becomes flat.
Right.
Now, if you have a long straightaway, do you get the certain edges of the tire worn out a lot quicker, though, don't you?
It depends. It depends on how much camber you have, and it depends on air pressure. So, the more air pressure you have, the more the camber reacts. So, if you have a lot of left front camber, but you're low on air pressure, the lower air pressure will make it more flat.
Well, another quick question for you, Tommy. When they just start up the race and everybody gets out there and they come back in, is it a lot more falls on your shoulders trying to say, okay, this is what I'm seeing, and you have to tell the crew chief, say, hey, Cole, this is what we need to do to the car? Or will he just...
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, so we try to do a lot of that in practice. So like my weekend will base off of when we're doing race runs, I'll even break the tire down, cut it open, make sure all the ports are tight in the tire, make sure nothing's breaking loose, or making sure there's no flow cracking or any damages to the tire, to where I know we can go either lower on air pressure or put more camber into the tire. So after practice, if that's not enough information, I'll also, on Saturday, when I'm working on race tires, I'll also go out to the Xfinity race if they're on the same coast as us. If they get like a long 50, 60 lap run, I'll go out there and look at their tires that come off and get a better reading on, especially if it's going to be the same temperature, if it's going to be hot or slick, same as we're going to run, it'll give me a better reading on how the tires are. So I'll go look at them for the Xfinity race and tell Cole, hey, left fronts are porting a lot today. We may need to back out camber or something like that. And then of course, if you see something a little bit different in the race, it's tough to react right then and there just because you just put another set on. So
Right.
you kind of have to react like 2 stops later. So if a set of tires come off and they look pretty bad, I'll look at Cole and be like, hey, the next step we may need to put air in this tire, or we may need to camber. There's nothing you can do for camber once you're in the race. That's the practice and qualifying thing. So once you start the race, there's nothing you can do to adjust camber.
Now,
Only air pressure. So if you need to add some or take some out, it's about your only adjustment.
now, how effective or how much of a bother is dealing with the caster?
That's something that they just really do in the shop. You don't really even change caster much on a race weekend. I couldn't even tell you the last time we've changed teams that really changed caster during a race weekend.
Okay. Awesome. Well, that was a lot of good information, Tommy. I like that. That way I can tell somebody, go watch this video, and you'll learn all about it.
There you go.
Yeah,
Hey,
absolutely.
you should sit down with a camera one day and just do your own video and put it on YouTube or something, you know?
Well, Gibbs did one on me, I think a week or two ago, where they had me explain a bunch of stuff. So if you go on the Joe Gibbs Racing Instagram or Facebook account and date back to about right before Daytona, I believe, maybe 2 weeks ago, so they had a segment on that.
Look at that. I didn't even know about it, and I knew about it.
There you go. There you
There you
go.
go.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and let you get out of here, Tommy, and let you two go chill out, relax, and enjoy a non-race weekend. And I'm sure you'll be watching over the weekend, though.
I wish it was a non-race weekend. We got to fly to Vegas tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. What am I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking trucks.
No
Trucks are running.
We have a non-race weekend until Easter.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I'm all miscombobulated. I've just been too enthused listening to you talking. I just forgot about there was a race coming on, okay?
We're getting, hoping that the weather gets decent for our racing season beginning here.
I know, I think it should be nice. You got my wife all excited though. She looked at me, she's like, wait a minute, you're not racing this weekend? Before that.
Someone's got in trouble.
He's got a secret rendezvous with a girlfriend that we didn't tell you about.
That's it. That's it.
I'm surprised. I've been married for 37 years, and let me tell you, my wife knows what's going on all the time, okay?
Oh yeah. That's it.
Tommy, what's your wife's name?
Tara?
Now, does she speak loud enough we can hear her?
Yeah, absolutely. She's listening.
Okay.
Right here.
What do you think about him being involved in all this?
I love it. I love it. At first, I wasn't really a fan of NASCAR, and he would try to explain stuff to me, and I thought, he takes air pressures for a living. I think I could do that. But then I went to a race, and I saw all the stuff that he does behind the scenes and how intense it is, and I couldn't be more proud of him. So he's made a NASCAR fan out of me.
Oh, that's really sweet. I like
Good.
that. Woman standing behind her man.
There you go.
That's right.
Now we'll put you on the spot. Who's your favorite driver?
Junior, of course.
Who?
Martin Truex Jr.
Oh, I thought you said Junior, and I was thinking
Said
Dale
Junior.
Jr.
We got more than one junior now. One retired. Wait a minute.
Hold on. Yeah. I was going to see if I could trip you up, with him being there.
Yeah. Can't do that. Martin's my favorite.
Oh, cool.
Did he bring any seafood?
I'm sorry?
Did Martin bring any seafood?
No seafood yet.
Oh, darn.
I know. I need to get on the list.
Absolutely.
Now, does she get to go out with you when you go out to the race in Vegas?
She did 2 years ago? 2 or 3 years ago. She usually comes to about one a year. So.
I had a little too much fun in Vegas, so I can't get that.
Uh-oh.
Now, I'm going to ask you, have you had yourself an In-N-Out burger in Vegas or anywhere?
I've never had an In-N-Out burger.
Tommy, get her straight.
Gotta do it.
Oh yeah, we do too. We just had it. What did we go for? Oh, the Fontana test. We had some Fontana in January together.
Gotta do it. I finally did it myself. You gotta do it. Trust me.
Oh yeah, it's delicious.
Yeah.
We'll be getting one this weekend for sure.
You should take and bring her back one.
Oh Oh no, good. It'll be not much later.
Yeah.
Well, you know, put it in, get a cold pack to put it in, you know, some dry ice, and then,
Yeah.
Well, I had one the next night. It was still pretty good. So that's, I can imagine how good it was when it was hot. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. Maybe we'll get lucky and get one for the plane ride back, and I can steal her one.
There you
there
go.
you go. All right, you guys have a safe trip, and go have fun at Vegas, and we'll get back up with you again, Tommy.
All right, thanks.
Thank you,
guys
man.
take care.
Thanks for sharing time with us. Bye-bye.
All right. Yep.
Get the wife involved, too.
There you go. Ain't no race fan.
Oh, gosh. No, she wasn't much of a race fan, but now she is. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I
well.
was trying to trip her up. Maybe she liked somebody else. Oh, yeah, I like Clint Boyer. Oops, no, I was Martin Truex. Yeah.
Well, it's been 4 years. She's had a chance to learn the 40 line at that point, right?
Yep.
With Furniture for 4 years. So.
I remember when we had his buddy who was on the Denver Broncos on the show,
Okay.
and was talking about him and had him on shortly thereafter. So it's fun to get friends and family all mixed in with stuff like that. They don't know the other's going to be on. I had one night we had called the parents. You got the scoop on the parents from the parents because the two brothers wouldn't tell anything on each other. It was funny. It was hilarious. Anywho, you guys, I know not a lot of you left out there because we ran late. We did our own hour-and-a-half show. We're going to get out of here, go grab ourselves something to eat, and we hope everybody, we'll see y'all next week on Let's Talk Racing. See ya!
Bye.